Laredo, take us out.
Take out.
All right. Blast off. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out. With us live where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey! Let's go off-world tonight.
Hello, everybody. Hold on one second. I'm just finishing something real quick. Be right with you. Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
How's everybody doing?
How's it going, guys?
Here.
Well, not all at once.
Okay. Hey, commands are commands. Everybody
That's
start
true.
talking.
That's true.
Let's see. Let me read this. Make sure this sounds good. When you're done here, pop over to OffWorld. We're talking about the most memorable mail away figures. Love you, Trevor. Okay, I think that sounds good. Super chat away.
Super chat away.
There we go. Okay.
The super chats will never be as entertaining as they were at Legion's Con.
There we go.
Right
I'm sure that'll get me a nice friendly message from Trevor. So, how's everybody doing?
Pretty damn good.
Yeah. If you weren't aware, there is a 1/6 pack going on. Whoa, holy crap! What's going on?
He broke in.
He broke in.
Dang.
He said he was gonna show up like the Undertaker. There you go.
Yeah, that was more Bray Wyatt. That was actually terrifying.
What's going on, everybody?
Not much. I just infiltrated Trevor's show. If you're not aware, there is a show going on right now. 1/6 pack. If you're interested in very pricey figures that take up way too much room in your collection, go over and check that out. If you're interested in talking about real toys that people collect that aren't rich and famous photographers, stick out here. So, anyway, Sean, how you doing, Sean?
Oh, I'm just great. I am good to go. How about you, Curtis?
I'm doing fantastic. Really am. It's been a rough month financially, but we're just persevering. We're pushing through. Gonna just make it happen. So
pushing through to the neest pre-order. That's how life works. Some days, one pre-order at a time.
There you go. Alexander, get Drunk Gizmo Customs. Been a little bit since we've had you on. Well, how you doing?
Getting by like everyone else.
Yeah.
Rough start to the year and persevering.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, 2024 has been a rough one so far. Like people talk about like what was the first? Was it 2020? It was like the first real year like of COVID. Like that one, I got a promotion. I got to start working from home. We got that extra money from the government to buy toys with and shit. Like, man, that first COVID year, that was pretty fucking good. Like, 2024 is kicking me in the ass way more than fucking COVID. I don't know what the hell kind of thing this is, but yeah, it's rough. So,
I've been getting my ass kicked since 23.
Yeah. Well, hey, Greg, appreciate you being here. Didn't know you were joining us tonight, but how you doing?
Process.
Yeah,
I'm hanging in there. You know,
this way. He's buffering. He's channeling his inner Chris Kelly tonight.
Mm-hmm.
playing around some Poxus figures.
Okay, all right. Are they all ins now, or is that just the regular the other ones besides the brute scale?
Nah, these are still the regular ones besides the boot scale. The all-ins haven't came in yet,
Okay,
so hopefully they'll be in next week.
that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
And,
I
they'll be in
don't
folks'
anticipate
hands
getting anything
real
for a
soon.
while because my, obviously the all in is waiting for those, and then my side order, my extra order on top of the all in had a lot of the brute scales. So yeah, I just patiently waiting, but that's all right because I'm going down a huge Joe rabbit hole as it is. So
Yeah.
Not mine. He means
I'm not going down Joe Gonzalez's hole. I'm going down a rabbit hole of buying
Greg
GI
away.
classifieds. Yeah, I scared Greg away.
Did you end up picking the color change Zartan up?
No, because after looking at them, I liked the retro card one better, like where it's got the blue upper like torso part and stuff. But I did find one of those that's on its way to me. So, and I just secured a roadblock today, dude. It's crazy. Like I'll when we go through toy pickups, I'll show you some stuff. But I've got another, I don't know, probably 20 something figures by the front door that haven't been opened yet. It's I got a message from Chris Kelly, and he told me it's amazing how quickly you're catching up with this line. And when Chris Kelly tells you that means you're collecting a lot of Joes. So
he's starting to see you in his rearview mirror is what's happening. That's what's going on.
Yeah. But Ryan, how you doing?
Like you guys, a shitty start to the fucking year. I mentioned it on Saturday Day Live. I hurt my shoulder, was out of work for 2 weeks, didn't get paid, kind of a strap for cash right now, but life goes on.
Damn. Yeah, that sucks. Plus now your wife's a more famous YouTube star than you. How's that going?
Yeah, which is bullshit because she comes here and then she uses my equipment and gets bigger than me. That's fucking ridiculous. I can't fucking believe this.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the club,
Now,
man. I brought my wife to Legion's Con just to share the experience with her, and I've heard nothing but her and her capes for the last fucking 2-3 months. There was other shit at the table besides her capes, right? Like I had stuff that I painted too, right?
I got a couple.
Where was that?
Yeah, exactly.
The worst will be if somebody comes up and goes, Curtis, why weren't you at Legion's Con last year? And then you're like,
and we've got the guy that's always here.
Tables.
Whether he's on camera, whether he's in the chat, he is our number one contributor / fan, Joe Gonzalez. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I
know,
just like everybody else.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. I think we had a little bit of delay. I was asking if there was no Joe Gonzalez live last night.
Last night? On Thursday?
Yeah. Don't you do that? Or no? Oh, sorry. That's tomorrow night, right?
But I travel to Southern California twice a month, so tomorrow is my travel weekend, so I miss it. So that'll be next Saturday. I'm on Oz's show, whatever the name.
Yeah, I mean technically it's Oz's
really
show,
embarrassing because he's nice enough to let me on whenever I can be, and then I forget the name of his show. But Ostradamus Stories on YouTube. Check it out. Feel free. It's usually
what is the name of that show? It's like
Playhouse
or Hours or Playhouse. Yeah.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, Clubhouse.
Wait. Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Oz's Clubhouse.
I'm going to talk to Oz and just see if he can just change it to Joe Gonzalez Live. I think that's just easier for everybody.
All of a sudden, he has 1 million subscribers overnight.
Curtis is totally going to get me kicked off the show.
You're gonna get replaced with Curtis.
He actually, last night I was on Toy Frenzy with him, and he actually said that you are now an essential person for the fact you have everything, and you are the best person to go to get examples of things in Mythic Legions that he does not have, since he just started collecting.
Right.
So now you are an extremely essential person in this whole thing. So there you go.
So if you don't have
have
the whole line, just know somebody that has the whole line.
Exactly.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. And
There's
I
nothing
need that.
wrong
I
with
need that in.
Some people can't.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not going to stay on the show on my own merits. Come on. So, you know, I need to have that little like side thing going on, you know.
Yeah.
Have them keep me coming.
All right.
So jealous, Greg. Man, I can't wait for the figures.
Greg.
Yeah.
I guess it's pretty easy. We can just go to the studio and pick up your order, you know. It's like I'll just pick mine myself. Let's see. I ordered 1 Arazak. That's 2 in the box. I ordered 1 as a Hazar. Here's 5 for me. You know. Oops, I mispicked my order. You know.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Quick, you double check my order for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it. Start talking about some toys. Who wants to? Let's start with Joe. We'll start with Joe, and we'll kind of wrap our way around. So, Joe, what kind of toy pickups you got for us this week?
I only had one thing that I got this week, but other than Legions, the only thing that I currently collect is Mega Halo.
Nice.
And I picked up, finally got this fan vote winner set with the Flood and Master Chief, and I've been waiting for this for quite a while. I'm a big fan of the game, so I don't know
me
when
too.
I'll have time to put it together.
I beat all of them.
When you say Mega Halo, is
yeah,
that like a Mega Blocks thing that you build?
So it's basically Legos. It was Mega Blocks, and then Mattel bought it and changed it to Mega Constructs, and then they decided they didn't like that, so they changed it to just Mega.
Gotcha.
So now it's just Mega.
Sweet.
You know, they flip flop the name around and
Nice.
ruin the distribution and all kinds of stuff. But the quality of the parts are better.
I actually was talking to them about changing it to Joe Gonzalez Blocks, so we'll see. Yeah.
Joe Blocks?
Yeah, Joe Blocks.
Joe Blockhead. I've heard that one before. So.
Anything else, Joe?
No, that was pretty much it for this week. Okay. It's been a slow week. I'm still waiting, like everyone else, for my Poxus all in, and of course the extras that I picked up, I had brute scales in there, so I didn't get those either. Greg.
Yeah. They put these awesome brute scales in that you want to get extras of, and then 2 years later when you're waiting for this stuff, they're like, hey, if you ordered any brute scales, fuck you, you're last. So all right.
To be fair, I don't have any brute scales either. Just to be fair.
Yeah, but you were able to get the rest of your order.
But do you need any?
Those of us that ordered brute scales, we have to wait.
Well, I mean, for a whole week, I had to pack your shit and not be able to play with any. So that's
it's pretty terrible. Yeah. Everybody feel bad for Greg. Come on, play your violins for Greg. Here we go. Yeah, there. Yeah. He only has a whole fucking basement of toys to play with and gets to see these things at the studio each time he goes in. But let's feel bad for Greg. All right, Ryan, what do you got?
So I don't know if there's any anime or manga fans, but I did get the SH Figuarts Gabby Maru from Hell's Paradise.
Okay.
And this I fucking
I didn't think you were going to show us the figure. I thought you were going to do a hedgehog thing where you just show us the box.
I could do that too. So here's the box.
Oh, it's a great box. Yeah.
Cool.
Purple Gang Gang.
There you go.
But here's the figure.
Nice.
A bunch of different faceplates, but it's in the way this shit moves. It's insane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's basically a ninja who wants to stop killing, but in almost every episode, he's just covered in blood because he's ripping dudes' throats out, and I'm here for it.
What show is that?
Right. Yeah, what's the show called?
It's Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise. Okay.
Hell's Paradise.
Gotta add that to the list.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful.
And that's all I got.
Man. All right. You guys I'm telling you, you guys got one thing each so far. I don't know what Greg's going to bring, but you guys are going to be embarrassed if you stick with just one when you get to me. So I'm just saying. I'm going to dwarf you guys. But go ahead. Greg, what do you got? What do you got to show up?
I'll show off with this wizard first.
Very nice.
Oh, bitch. Book fell.
So cool.
Yeah, that's a nice little book there.
Yeah, it's very cool. And then I'll just bring you over because I don't want to take each one of them off the shelves. You can see some new guys.
I got too many to show you. Okay.
Erebus hanging back there. Cool.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oh,
Wow.
These are. Poxus looks fucking killer, man.
He does look good.
Yeah, he looks really good.
I'm really getting excited for that Azahazar. That's the one that, man, I love that fucking paint job. And then like just the when people have been putting like the black lights on it and stuff and it glows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh.
Come on, Greg.
Oh,
Let's censor that.
X-rated content.
Come on. Oh, wait, never mind. We're not.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine.
Greg's trying to be hashtag Bambros on this motherfucker.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're having technical difficulties. Very nice. Okay. All right. We're up to Alexander. What do you got?
I got a couple things. Still collecting certain Black Series figures. I got the Chieftain from Book of Boba.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Very nice. It's like a bantha.
I love all the
Like a thing.
Yeah.
yeah. And then I picked this guy up last Saturday, which a lot of people already have him, but Mutton Junkyard.
Beautiful.
Nice.
This classified line is insane. The stuff that you get
Yeah, it is.
for the prices, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. One
But
Joe.
yeah, this dog is amazing. Yep,
One
that's
Joe.
it.
Yeah,
Just
that's
the one.
cute. That's cute. All right.
At least he had two.
That's true. That's true. Sean, what do you got? I'll let you go, Sean, because I'm sure that we're gonna have some of the same ones. So go for it.
Yesterday, I got into Walmart early, and I managed to get two packs of the Foot Ninjas from the Secret of the Ooze, and I also have on order 2 of the original movie 2 packs for the Foot Clan. So I'm caught up with that. I can definitely almost create the apartment scene at April's place when they're getting their asses kicked, which I always love.
Did you see the picture from Jesse Fireisen that I put in the group chat in the Legendati group? With it's got the Last Ronin turtle punching one of the Foot Clan.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that Foot Clan, that one that you were just showing, like it is, the face on it is super realistic.
Yeah, it like the amount of detail on it to me is just freaking awesome. Like
it looks
when
like
I saw
it's straight out of film, man. It is so good.
Yeah.
The only difference between this and the original, at least on the figure, is these have a little bit more of like a dark gray wash than all black the way they were. That's why I wanted to get the other ones again as well, because I kind of like that I can mix and match them then in that way.
Yeah.
So I got that. And then here we go.
Here we go.
Bringing
the fire.
I got my hands back on a Cobra Commander.
Yes.
Still love this. I still love this figure. This to me, I know there are people that probably think the Hiss Tank version is that Cobra Commander. This to me is so much better looking. I love how regal he looks because he's such a pompous character. I love it. He just
the Cobra Commander is the hooded one, but we're not going to get that. So
this works for me if we're not getting the hooded one. And then I took part at Boffo Toys last weekend, had a discount sale. So I ended up taking part in that. And one of the figures he had on there was this guy, Firefly. And he is one that I've been reading. He had QC issues where the ab crunch was very floppy. It wouldn't have like the clicking to counteract it from moving around and stuff. So I was really happy. Mine did not have any of those QC issues. He pretty much came perfect. So thank you, Boffo Toys, for picking out a good one for me. But this figure, I mean, the freaking RC vehicle and all that on top of it here.
Okay, you sold me. Fuck, this is one I hadn't pulled the trigger on, but you just sold me.
And then he has mines that you can put on here and load them on here if you want to, and have them go and go onto a vehicle and stuff.
Dude, that's fucking cool.
I love that he has the infrared and night vision goggles on top here. He's got a dead trigger.
Yeah, I need that one now.
Remote for the mines and stuff, or for possibly any other demolition thing or bomb that he has, which is awesome. And then here is the new love of my life.
Oh boy, that's a strong saying.
You ready for this?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the love of my life. I have 3 of them on hand so far. One of them's on the shelf. There's 4 more on the way.
They're pricey too. They're not cheap.
I found some lots. There were some people that were selling 2 at a time, and when you broke it down, it was like still less money to buy it that way than it was to buy them singly. And there were some people offering deals even and stuff. I mean, there's still, I'd say price range wise, you're still going $30 to $40 a figure, depending.
I've seen them up to 50 something.
I've seen them that high too, but I've been looking mostly at like 30, and hopefully they're still in box. But I can't get enough of these guys.
I have 0 of those, just so you're aware. Like if you got a bunch coming, just think about your friends is all I'm saying.
Hey, you know what? I have an officer coming, and I actually looked it up the other day. I was like, how many troops does an officer usually what do you want to say? How many are they in charge of? And I looked it up, and the typical number is something like 16 to 20 some. So I was like, okay, I'm still within my realm of I only need 1 officer, but if I keep doing this, I'm going to need a second officer pretty soon to help bail me out, because these guys, I don't know what it is. They are just so freaking great.
Benny says you need more of those. I have about 2 cases of Cobra Soldiers. So the thing is, like, because they've had it was the officer that was up for sale on Big Bad Toy, right? It was $16.
That was 16 the other day. Yes.
And it's almost the same figure as the infantry, but the infantry, the biggest difference as far as I can tell, is the infantry's got the red Cobra logo on the chest, and you can't find them like on Big Bad Toy Store or on Amazon or anything like that. Like, you have to buy them kind of secondhand because they're not out there anymore.
Yeah.
And the prices are a little bit high, but I don't know. I bought a couple of the officers, and I was just going to paint that logo red. But there's something about that figure. It just really jumps at you. And I need to get some of those. just they're a little pricey. So
they are, but even when I got them the first time around, when I did my first attempt at a collection, they were my favorites. I don't know what I had like 4 of them that time, and every single one, it's like they came out of the box perfect. And there's so much detail, and there's so many things you can do with those figures by themselves that it's pretty nuts. And then these just showed up today and yesterday. I got Ross had Zammot for 5.
Yep.
What?
Amazon had Tomax for 8.
Yep.
So I have the Crimson Twins now on top of all this stuff.
Yeah, those 2 are what really kind of opened this up for me.
Really?
Because I was just going to do, I had Serpentor because I always loved the Serpentor character. And I had, I was doing the Dreadnoks because I loved the Dreadnoks growing up. But that's all I was going to do. I wasn't going to do anything else. And then saw one of those at Ross, got the other one from Amazon for like $8 or something. I think between the 2 of them, I think I spent like $12 for the set for the 2 of them. And then I was like, okay, well, now that I got these, I need the rest of Cobra. But I'm not going to get the good guys. And that lasted for like 3 days. And then I started getting Joe's, and yeah, it's been a whole fucking thing. So
well, who was the Joe that convinced you that okay, now I need to go into the good guys?
The Joe, what happened is that because I like the Serpentor story so much, like the Joe that's essential to the Serpentor story is obviously Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter, yeah.
And so I had Sergeant Slaughter in my cart, but I wasn't planning on pulling the trigger. I was like, if I do this, I'm gonna be all in, and I can't be all in on another line. So I had him sitting in my cart. Well, then my wife went to go buy something. She was buying a little trampoline, like a little jumping trampoline thing for the room that she, I don't know, whatever. She's buying that. And she's like, did you want this thing that's in the cart? And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And so she did that. And then it was fucking game on, man.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. All right.
Yep.
That it, Sean?
That is it. There's a few more. There's actually still a few more, but I can leave them for another week because I always end up doing too much. So yeah, I hear you. I got so backstory, and I'm sure if anybody's watched this, the 3 people that watch this show, I normally try to limit myself to opening 2 figures a week. But then I started getting all these Joes. I'm like, if I do 2 figures a week, it's going to take me 3 years to get through these. So then I was like, oh, I'll do 4 figures. And this week I ended up opening 6. But here's the thing. Because I was on that whole kick where I was only going to do Cobra, I've got a lot of Cobra on the shelf. So this week was just a Joe week. So I've got no Cobra figures. This is all good guys. So here we go in no particular order. I will first show Mutton Junkyard because we already saw those. But yeah, cool fucking set. They really kill it on these little animals. Like they do a great job. So yeah, that's a really fun one. That was the first one after Sarge that I bought. Got Lady J. She's not the best figure in the world. This is the retro card one. Her hair and hat was kind of cockeyed, but it was like $10. So it was one of those where I was getting something else and I saw it for like $10 and I'm like, well, for $10 I'll grab it. So Shipyard or Shipwreck, which when I was a kid, this was like one of my favorite figures. The classified one, there's nothing wrong with it, but for some reason I've seen them themselves for a while, and I don't know, I was just like, I don't really need that right now. I finally pulled the trigger, but it's good. Everything about it, like there's nothing I can put my finger on that's wrong with it, but it doesn't give me the same feels as when I was a kid, because I love this figure as a kid. So I don't know, can't put my finger on it. It's a good figure, just doesn't really do much for me.
Village people were cooler in the 80s.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Stalker, another one that was kind of cheaper. Really good. I think the colors This one, I was talking to Lord Stephen Bisciotti on this one. I think because this one was a little earlier in the line, and they were doing like the whole, like futurist or not futurist, but like realistic military look and stuff. It wasn't exactly like the cartoon or the comic books. So it looks like it fits more with a Vala line than with Joe's, to be honest, just because of some of the lack of color and stuff. It looks a little too realistic, but still a good figure. Then I got this one for my buddy Len, Barbecue. Don't have any recollection of this character at all from when I was younger, but just a cool character. Got the tank on the back and axes, and so there you go. And last but not least, definitely not, because this is a big mamma fucking jamma. Gung Ho, man. This guy is huge. So just comparison, like
put Shipwreck next to him. So we kind of got that.
This is Lady J.
And then
let me grab Shipwreck. Like, this dude is fucking huge. When I first saw this at the store, I thought that it was a different scale. Like, I was like, are they making a new Joe line that's just at a different scale? No, he's just fucking huge. And yeah, but awesome, very intimidating presence. So 6 Joes for the week. They're still behind. Cobra has still got way more on the shelf, but they're slowly catching up. So
Steph had a question asking if anybody had a wild weasel she can see. Anybody got wild weasel?
They haven't made him in classified yet, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that character, and I thought this was a sexual thing that you guys were doing there. So
no, he was a pilot in Cobra, but they haven't made him yet.
I was like, nobody's gonna be showing their wild weasel on fucking YouTube. Come on.
Might be on one of Greg's shelves.
Yeah. Looks like Jesse's on his way home, so D&D must have went well. I did send the link to Trevor in case he wants to pop in and yell at me after his 1/6 crap. Sorry, pack at 1/6 pack. So there you go. Classified is awesome, and they've really moved above Mondo for me. Like, I was posed the question, Marry, Fuck, Kill, Legions, Classified, and Mondo gets killed for me right now. Like, I'm marrying Legions because I'm in for the long haul. Like, it's, me and Legions were, sometimes we're going to have some battles where, they're not, Legions isn't going to cook dinner right or something, and I got to yell at it, but, we're in it, there's struggles, but we're in it together. Classified, it's dirty sex, man. I mean, me and Classified are getting down, man. I mean, I'm talking oil and just things you don't want to see. Parts going everywhere. Oh yeah, it's gross. And Mondo's getting killed right now. Like, oh yeah. And I hate to say that because I love Mondo, but Classified's just really sexy right now. So it's kicked Mondo out of the bed. So, and if I'm being honest, Mondo may actually be 4th for me behind Mafex, even because Mafex is kicking ass, especially if that Return of Superman line.
Feeling it right now.
Wait for that Superboy, dude. That thing looks crazy good.
The Eradicator, the Superboy, that whole Return of Superman line is fantastic. So their Hush ones have been really good. If they do a because I saw that Superboy with the jacket and stuff that he's got, that gives me hope for them doing a Red Hood character, and I'll be like, fucking, it'll be game over. Like, they do a Red Hood, I'm like, yeah, that's all I need, man. Because I love that character.
I've been waiting for like Mezco to do a Red Hood, but I think Mafex would be the way to go with articulation wise, anyway.
Yep. But for the articulation, and the I think that jacket, if it holds up, I mean, that's what people have said is like that kind of fake leather toy jackets Like that stuff doesn't always hold up over time. But if it holds up, it looks fantastic on that Superboy. So, I know Mafex isn't normally like the soft goods company, but yeah, it looks really good. So,
I mean, the capes they've done they're not like the best, but they are a step above a lot of other companies.
The early ones aren't great, like the Hush Batman and stuff, not the best, but like that steel is fantastic.
Oh,
dude.
Steel is nice.
Hands down.
Yeah, that steel and the Magneto they came out with last year was really good. Their soft good game is definitely taking it up a notch. So, all right, beautiful. What else we got? Anything else we want to talk about before we go into our main topic? Anybody else have anything?
Super 7 that they're doing the ladies GI Joes, and it's not something I'm super interested in, but that Baroness comes with that, like, I don't know if it's a deer skull or cow skull mask with the branch like antlers on it. That looks pretty dope.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking about maybe picking that up just for that mask.
Yeah, I mean, some of those the Super 7 Joe line, like, they look good. I would even probably pick a few up if the scale wasn't so far off, because they're just like they stand like an inch or two taller than classified. So you can't really mix them in. It's like its own thing. But there's definitely, like, I mean, their Cobra Commander looks fantastic. The Ultimates Cobra Commander is awesome. But you just can't mix the lines, which I'm sure is by intention, because I'm sure that's Hasbro's letting them do that because it's a different scale and it's not really competing with them.
Somebody needs to come up with a 3D printed growth ray. That seems like something Cobra would have done in the 80s.
There you go.
Just to make their soldiers giant.
Yeah. Cobra Commander's in the back just shooting it at his crotch. No, sir, I didn't see you playing with your toys again. Eddie says, Curtis, did you get to his tank, or was that before you? His tank was before I was into Joe's. I am desperately trying to keep from buying vehicles. I don't know that I'm going to be able to hold out, because I'm just a sucker for cool things. If I can make it to MesquiCon and back without buying one from Travis, I'll consider that a success. So we'll see. Beautiful. All right. Well, let's see. Let's do this week in theaters. That way we can. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, I do have some housekeeping for OffWorld. Kind of throw out there. So, got some feedback from the guys, because I talk too much or whatever shit. And so sometimes these shows go, way long, and we're trying to trim that down a bit. So one thing that we may do is with the Have You Ever section, we may end up recording that on the same night that we do OffWorld, but not doing it live, like dropping it as like a release on like Monday morning or something. Just so we don't have the shows going 3-4 hours. We still think it's a fun segment. We like to do it. There's not a ton of interaction in the Have You Ever segment, but we do think it's fun to watch. So we're thinking about recording that and dropping that on Mondays. Maybe some other changes just to kind of keep it a little bit tight. So just FYI. Sean, you got anything else to add on that one?
No, I like the idea. We're kicking around the name, but we were thinking of calling it like the Monday Morning Hangover or whatever, based on the Friday night that you spent with us, and doing it where, the channel then has more content constantly compared to just the Friday night free for all that we do. So I think it'll be fun. Yep. And we'll see, as we keep going, who knows, there'll probably be something every night of the week eventually, the way this is looking. But yeah, it's the beginning.
All right, let me share my screen. Oh, I did have something else I wanted to show too. All right, let me show this first. All right, this is a little, bear with me here. Okay, guys, probably not gonna give a shit, but just bear with me. This was me last year at this time, post Legions Con, and I really I was getting into the show Vikings. Saw Ron Twining at Legions Con, and I was like, I really want to look like a Viking. Like, I want to change my look. I'd always done this kind of short hair, goatee kind of thing, and I was like, I want to change my look. So I told my hairdresser at the time that I was going for this look. Like, this is what I wanted to go for. So shaved on the sides, grow it long, ponytail in back, grow the long, kind of goatee, half beard kind of thing. And this is me today after seeing my hairdresser. It's been a year of growing things out and also, lost some weight and all this and that. But so yeah, I think it would pretty good. What do you guys think? What do you think of the Curtis transformation?
You're a shoe-in for Valhalla, Curtis.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The doorman won't even be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. I didn't go with initially she tied the goatee like it was in that other picture, but I think I like it without being tied. I don't know. But I thought for somebody that for 40 something years never grew their hair long, it was really a chore to because you get to certain points where you're just like, cut this shit out, but yeah, I made it.
Yeah.
So, there you go. little beauty for you guys. Sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses. So I wanted to give you guys a chance to do that. So,
that's movie magic when the goatees look that good tied. By the way,
yeah. Okay.
I've grown a lot. Yeah, you just they add extra hair to that lower part that you just can't grow that to make it look that good. Like it just doesn't.
Gotcha. All right, we're gonna go to the random number generator. I'm changing it up because we found out that we were doing 81, but there's even some 81s on there that doesn't have movies in it. So we're gonna start with 82. We're gonna go all the way to 2020. So we'll see what happens. In 3, 2, 1, 1986. So we are on 1986.
That's when I came to this country.
Oh yeah, very nice.
1986.
We wasn't born yet.
Still wasn't born yet.
Yeah, 2 years before I was born.
I was 4.
Fucking young dudes.
I was turning 8 that year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was 8.
I would have been 9 that year.
All
right.
I got Rodimus Prime for my birthday. I remember that.
Fuck that character.
He's great.
No, Hot Rod's way better.
Hot Rod's badass. I love him too.
Yeah. All right, we're going to February 2nd of 1986, and here are our top 10. Number 1, we've got Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Sean, you want to look up actors on this stuff for me? We've got a rich and troubled family finds their lives altered by the arrival of something. Hold on, let me pull this over to the side. Of a vagrant who tries to drown himself in their swimming pool.
This is starring Nick Nolte, Bette Midler, and Richard Dreyfuss.
Okay, all right.
And Little Richard's in it too, apparently.
Okay. That was number 1 for the week. It was its first week out. Then we've got The Color Purple. Black Southern woman struggles to find her identity after suffering abuse from her father and others for 4 decades. So kind of an uplifting flick. I'm sure that's one Jesse would pick.
Not to be confused with Purple Gang, by the way.
That's true. I don't think this is the Purple that Gang
This is
likes.
not their movie.
No.
No,
who was in that?
not.
Was that
That was Whoopi Goldberg. I remember that from when I was a kid, but I don't remember who else is in it other than her.
Gotcha. Third, we've got Youngblood. 17-year-old farm boy is offered an ice hockey tryout. His brother drives him to Canada. His fast leg, slow fist, but is chosen. He has fast legs, slow fist, but is chosen. Will he learn to use his fist and play hockey the Canuck way? Will he get the coach's cute daughter? There we go. I think that's Rob Lowe.
Asking the real question.
That is, yeah, that's Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, and even Keanu Reeves is in that one.
Gotcha. I'm gonna have to put that one down as a checkout. Which I've got something to talk about from last week's checking out because
you told us in the private chat to go forward with it because that was great.
So just to finish off this list first, and then I'll get into last week's. Next one is out of Africa. In 20th century colonial Kenya, a Danish baroness plantation owner has passionate love affair with a free-spirited big game hunter. That also sounds very Jesse. So,
and
looks like Robert
that one is
Redford
starring.
Yeah, it looks like Robert Redford and Meryl Streep. I can read that.
Robert Redford, Meryl Streep. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and Michael Gough, who played Alfred the Butler in the 1989 Batman, is also in that one, apparently.
All right. Gotcha. Next, we have Iron Eagle, the first one of many. Young pilot plans a rescue mission when his father, an Air Force colonel, is shot down over enemy territory and captured. That is that one guy that was in all the Iron Eagle movies, and then the other guy that was in all the Iron Eagle movies.
Louis Gossett Jr. and Jason Gedrick.
There you go. That's exactly what I said.
It's the dude that's a dude playing another dude. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. Next, we've got The Best of Times. A small town loser determined to have one more shot at big time by winning a football game. And that one is Kurt Russell and
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, yeah.
Yep.
I've seen that one.
I have too.
Okay. Next, we've got The Jewel of the Nile. When Joan Wilder is abducted while on a trip to the Nile, her boyfriend Jack Colton and pal Ralph rush to the rescue to retrieve the fabled jewel. So,
Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito.
Yep. Next, we have Power. After a close friend drops out of politics, political consultant helping to find a replacement finds a web of corruption and deceit as well. All right.
And that one's Richard Gere, Denzel Washington, and Gene Hackman, according to this.
Wow, that's a good
That's
cast.
a hell of a cast. Julie Christie, too.
Next, we have Eliminators. A former pilot rebels against his creator. Okay. I was like, why is a pilot created? Okay. Teaming up with the scientist responsible for his android technology, her pet robot Spot, a rough and tumble riverboat guide, and a martial arts warrior. What the fuck is this?
This sounds like the best movie ever.
Yeah, the only name from this I even remotely know is Denise Crosby, who was Tasha Yar on Next Generation, is in that one.
If that's not the most 86 sounding movie I've ever heard, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
all right.
That is a metal movie right there.
Okay. And next we've got Rocky IV. He goes to Russia. Rocky Balboa proudly holds the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship, but a new challenger has stepped forward. Drago, 6'4", 261-pound fighter, who has the backing of the Soviet Union. He kills Apollo, which is very timely because Carl Weathers.
Spoiler alert!
Unfortunately,
jeez, come on.
So
spoiler alert.
And Rocky ends the Cold War. So there you go. So before we go through and pick our movies for this one, do have to mention last week's. God, what was the name of that movie? Do you remember the name of that movie, Sean?
Private Lessons.
Private Lessons. Okay, listen, guys. There's this one Private Lessons last week that I was like, oh, it sounds interesting. Like this lady seduces this 15-year-old like millionaire kid or whatever to whatever, trying to like, she's in cahoots with the limo driver to try to steal money from this rich family, basically, right? So I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'll check it out, whatever. So I'm watching this thing, and this was like 1984 or something. And like like the kid is literally 15. Like the actor in the movie was 15. And they are having full-on sex scenes, like with this lady, like seducing this kid and like having full-on sex scenes. And then like it's this thing where she's trying to trick him to where like they're making love and she dies, right? But she's not really dead, but she's faking dead so that they can kind of extort money out of this kid to kind of like cover it up or whatever. But she can't go along with it because she actually really falls in love with the kid. And then, so like towards the end of the movie, like they're actually like in love with each other and still having additional sex scenes. And the actor in the movie is 15. And I'm like, how the fuck did they get away with this?
Was this the 80s?
It was.
Yeah.
It was like 84 or something. But it was like,
Yeah, it was all good.
dude, it was ridiculous. I was like, I can't believe they got away with this.
That kid probably signed that
his
contract
parents signed
so
off.
quickly.
Yeah.
He probably was like, "I'm all over
Well,
this."
and I remember the kid.
This? Amazing.
Yeah, the kid. If you ever watched Mama's Family, the kid Buzz from that show, but Buzz Harper, that was the kid in the movie. And I had to go back and look, and I'm like, oh, you know, they're making him a 15-year-old in the movie, but I'm sure he's like, you know, 18, 19 or something. And I looked, and no, when filming started on that, he was 15 years old. And I'm like, unfreaking real. It's crazy. I thought Blank Check was bad. Like, guys ever seen Blank Check where that kid yeah.
That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah. I thought that was bad because the lady kisses the kid, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like she's like in bed with him and like, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, nutty. Anyway. For some reason
When I was 15, yeah, probably would have signed up for that movie. Sure.
Oh yeah, I definitely
100%.
signed up for this movie. I just don't know how they got away with doing it, but okay. Anyway, so we've got our movies for this week. We're gonna start. Well, we'll start with me, and we'll just work our way down. Man, I a lot of times like to go to something I haven't seen that just sounds interesting. And I did write down that Youngblood because I haven't seen that one. But just, you know, this is hitting us today and the whole Carl Weathers thing. I gotta go see Rocky IV. I mean, I would have some other options if this was Rocky V because that's a piece of shit movie. But Rocky IV is still really good. And then, you know, on top of what happened today, you know, just I think right now you give me a time machine, I go back and have to watch one of these or get to watch one of these. It's definitely going to be Rocky IV. So, all right, Sean, what do you got?
I'm right there with you, but then I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, but he died in that movie and he died today. That's pretty depressing.
Oh yeah,
but
dude, I'd be crying in the theater for sure.
I mean, out of all of the list, that's the one where I would actually want to go in and sit down and just have enjoyment in a movie, because this is a serious list. Otherwise, with the exception of maybe Down and Out in Beverly Hills and Jewel of the Nile.
Mm-hmm.
But Rocky IV has that insane montage with no easy way out and all that. I mean, geez, it's so 80s. It's like, I don't even, you will feel like you went in a time machine, even if you don't have one, just watching this movie.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that is a soundtrack, Rocky IV, where like, if you just want to go to the gym, like that is a good soundtrack to just work out to. Like,
absolutely,
you get pumped listening to some of the songs in that. So, all right, Alexander, what are you seeing?
I'm probably gonna go with Jewel of the Nile.
Jewel of the Nile, okay.
That was my second choice.
And they did a couple of those movies, right? Like,
Romancing the Stone.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, they're not good bad. Movie. That's a good cast. I mean, yeah, those were fun movies, so I could see that. All right, Joe, what are you seeing?
Well, there's Jewel of the Nile and Rocky IV are very good movies. But if I'm going back in a time machine, I'm seeing Eliminators. Just that
really?
description. Oh man, like
Now, have
I
you
know
seen
it's going to be.
Eliminators before? Or is that? Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
have not, but I know it's going to be terrible. And my only hope was that it would be like so terrible that it's good. You know?
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at that description, and Sean knows. You know, when I was young, my nickname was Bionic Space Cowboy. So
That is true.
That
I found that out
just
last
fits.
night.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
So,
it does sound like a very 80s movie. If that's what you're looking for, is that kind of experience. Yeah,
I would go in 100% expecting it to be a bad movie, but I think for me that's that draw, you know, that it's going to be so bad that I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that.
I want to be entertained.
All right. Well, what about you, Rygon? What are you saying?
I am right there with Joe.
Nice.
It's definitely going to be better than that piece of shit Blood and Honey Winnie the Pooh horror fucking.
That's nowadays. If you know the movie's going to be crap, there's a pretty good chance it's not even going to be fun. It's just going to be crap. At least in the 80s, if it was crap, you usually had something to leave going like that was crap, but man, that was also fun, or at least they committed to it or something. You know, it's yeah.
Okay, I gotta pull up something real quick. Let me. Shit, I don't think I can do another one. Might have to stop screen share on this one and share screen. You got to look at this movie poster because it's fucking crazy. Look at this. Like what the fuck's going on here, man? You know,
how is that not G.I. Joe?
I'm already gonna go watch it.
Holy
You don't have
shit.
to convince me. Look at that robot.
I'm wondering if maybe I made a bad choice. You know, I may have made a bad choice, Joe, because this is fucking crazy.
You know, there's no scene that's gonna look like that, though. It's the beauty of artists, right there. There was no AI. They had some guy that did that. You go to see the movie waiting for that scene, and it don't look anything like that.
That's something.
There's enough awesome in there, even if they give it to me in slices. I'll take it.
I mean,
that
you're
should
definitely
be the review.
Yeah,
on the poster, there's enough awesome. We gave it to him in slices.
We gave it to you in slices. I tell you what, that is one that you would definitely go back. Like when you eventually came back to our time, you'd be like, I experienced the 80s for 2 hours. I experienced the 80s. So, all right, Greg, you got the final say. What are you going to see?
I'm gonna go see Rocky, man. I got to see my boy get beat up by my other boy that I've been called growing up.
Oh yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love me some Dolph Lundgren, man. Oh, he's so good. Yeah. All right. So me, Sean, and Greg are gonna go see Rocky. Rygon and Joe are gonna go see Eliminators, which, you know, I think after we get together after watching these films, I may go, I picked the wrong fucking film. And Alexander's going to go watch Jewel of the Nile, which probably is the one that's going to have the most laughs. So, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a look at how long this stuff was out for. It looked like Youngblood, that was the first week. Down and Out in Beverly Hills, it was number 1, and that was the first week for it. Rocky was at 11 weeks. Nothing was out there significantly long. We scroll down a little bit. Though. Back to the Future is still hanging strong at 32 weeks. So it's number 12. And then there's a movie Stripper that was the first week out, and it was bottom. It was the very last movie of the week. Let's see. Oh, this fantastic. Background: a strippers convention and major contest. Movie focuses on a few strippers, each with their own strong motive to win. Okay. So I don't know how you win a stripping convention and contest, but There you go.
The numbers, the 20,000 was how much the girl got in her G-string to win. That's why.
They didn't even sell tickets. It was just
they didn't.
Up
It was just
after,
here.
Yeah.
$20,000 later, it's number 12 or 13, whichever number that is.
And the other one just outside the top 10 was Spies Like Us, which is another funny flick.
And they're watching the strippers from the other room.
There you
It
go.
all works, so you can have the whole story. He's a peeping Tom.
So there was this week in theaters. So thanks, guys. That was fun. Let's see. Checking to see if we got any comments over here. What? No stripper talk? Well, we got a little stripper talk, so I hope that helped you guys. Betty says I'm gonna go watch Eliminators right now. Yeah, it's definitely one that has to be on the list. Yeah, I'll have to come back on in a couple weeks or whatever and tell you guys how that was.
All right.
Yeah, that looks good. I don't know how to spell Eliminator, but okay. Well, shoot, I was hoping that Jesse would get here. Oh, there he is. Nice, perfect timing, Jesse.
What up, Jesse?
Speak,
Yeah,
and the devil will appear.
Jesse,
devil though. You're the good angel on my shoulder. Dooch is the devil. So, all right. So, topic at hand, we have got mail away figures. I really appreciate everybody in this group sending me some that they wanted to be included in the list, even if they did wait all fucking week and then send it to me on the last day, hours before the show. Appreciate that, guys. That was really helpful.
Didn't you just come up with this topic like 2 days ago?
Shut the fuck up. No.
Sorry, 3 days ago.
No, we created the OffWorld 2.0 group on Tuesday, and that's when I put it in the chat, and they waited till Friday to tell me, but
it's 3 days.
Fine. That's fine. So
and I got added today.
With this, I did not. We don't have like a ranking here. This isn't like a top 10, like number 10, number 5, number whatever. I kind of grouped these together by brands, based on the ones that we found, and I tried to, if I could, find like the form or whatever that you had to submit, as well as like what you got. So getting into it, first we're going to start with Thundercats. And this was the free Mumra that you got with proofs of purchase mailing in. It was the ancient decayed form of Mumra. If you wanted that one instead of the cool big giant one, here it was. So anybody have this or have any recollection of seeing this at friend's house or playing with this or anything like that?
No, but it's awesome.
But I never had it.
Nope.
Never had it, but a friend of mine did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I remember seeing it. I didn't have a lot of Thundercats anyway, but I do remember seeing it. I don't remember where I saw it, but I knew of its existence for sure. So okay. I think some of these are going to spark more conversation than others, so that's fine. But if you guys got something to say, throw it out. This next one was a Chef Boyardee Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mail away Super Shredder. So this is a little bit later, so maybe some of you younger guys knew of this or had this. Anybody have any frame of reference with this thing?
Nah.
No.
I don't remember eating the meal.
Nope. You remember eating the turtle Chef Boyardee?
Yeah.
And were they like little turtle shaped pastas or
it was essentially like it was like essentially SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they looked like, but I remember I would get them.
Gotcha. Just to answer a question from the chat real quick. No, we are not doing mail order brides. That is a different episode of OffWorld. So
hey,
yeah.
Jordan, what
We'll
Walmart
definitely
is that?
rank them.
Yeah.
Take a picture for me.
Yeah. All right. Next, we've got superpowers. So we got a couple superpowers here. First one is Steppenwolf. These I definitely did have. The superpowers line is one that is a kind of some PTSD for me because I had every single figure in the line, most of the vehicles, and then at one point my mom gave my entire collection away to a young kid that they were friends with his parents, and I lost my whole collection, which kind of sucked because she thought that I was too old for toys at that point. So, but this was the mail away Steppenwolf, which he's like a, kind of a minion of Darkseid. Then they eventually did release this on card later on. So anybody have anything with this one?
I had.
Pretty sure that guy would have given me nightmares if I had him as a kid.
That was like that looks like the Joe Gonzalez 80s figure. It's like him going clubbing on a Friday night.
That's what I get for going first. I'm not afraid of you, Joe.
Yeah. And on the form here, you can see, looks like you had to purchase any 5 superpowers, remove the proofs of purchase, and then send them and then it's got the address there. So, do you guys recall like cutting those things out and stuff from your figures?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any specific lines that you guys for sure remember like cutting those proofs of purchase out for?
For me, it was Superpowers, Star Wars, and G.I. Joe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I remember G.I. Joe's.
Yeah. There's a few of those coming up. The other Superpowers mail away one was Clark Kent. Like you gotta have that. So the only secret identity that they released, I don't believe this ever got a carded figure in retail. But this was again one of those where you send 5 proofs of purchase, and you could get the reporter Clark Kent. So I did have this figure as well. Anybody else have any recollection of this figure?
Yeah, I had him.
Oh, I remember it for sure. I didn't have this one, but I definitely remember wanting it. Can't remember why I didn't end up getting them, though. I had a lot of Superpowers figures, but yeah, I don't know.
For the
My
offer
childhood is
on there,
hazy.
for the offer on there, does that say 1996 or 86?
86.
I don't even see the year on there
Because the line didn't
expires
go till 96.
May 31st, 1986. Yeah.
Yep. I had to blow it up. Yep.
Yeah. It's you're too late, Rygon. You're not gonna.
And Kenner working out of Minnesota there, so I didn't know that. All right. So that's it for superpowers. Any comments on those before we move on?
This one was a big deal to my mom, and that's why she got it, because my mom was a big Superman fan. I became a Superman fan thanks to her enthusiasm, and this was the equivalent of having Prince Adam if you had Masters of the Universe, because at least you could have, if you played like you had a story, it was really cool to go, hey, Clark Kent's walking around, oh, you hear somebody calling for help, and then you just pull out the Superman and fly away. It's like you had 5 minutes of fun with this thing, and then you have like a half hour with the other figure, but it was still kind of fun to actually have the trade-off moment, up and away, and do the whole thing. So but yeah,
wasn't there like
it's
a phone
pointless
booth toy?
otherwise.
A what?
Wasn't there like a phone booth where you could it would like spin around if you had both of them, and it would?
I don't think in the superpowers line, they might have had it for something else, but I don't recall anything like that.
I
could be wrong,
something, but I don't think it was superpowers either. I can't think of what it would have been though.
Well, Jesse will look it up and he'll let us know. Next, we go into Transformers, and this was Omnibots. I don't remember these. I don't know anything about them. I just got sent this today by, was it Sean? Sean, did you send me these?
Yep.
So you want to talk about these?
I just remember like in the 80, 85 and 86 G1 line, there were random mail-ins, and I remember these because I think they were some of the first like Autobot ones, because the other one I remember a lot is Reflector, the one that it's like 3 or 4 Decepticons that turn into a camera. So this was the first time the Autobots got a chance to have a couple more in their ranks, but they looked bigger in the photos. But then when you see this, you're like, oh, they're like Bumblebee. They're not like.
I think I might actually have the wrong
whatever.
photo. I was trying to do this late, and I think those actually
that was
are
the
for
photo
Reflector.
Actually, oh no, you might be right. That is Reflector.
Yeah, I think that is for the Reflector because which
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Reflect.
Sorry. That one though, it's like, okay, let's have a boombox for no, actually it was a tape deck for Soundwave, and let's have a gun and all this stuff, but then let's have like a camera. It's just like okay, the randomness of the Decepticons versus hey, let's drive somewhere like the Autobots.
So anybody else had any experience with either Reflector or the Omnibots?
I had that little I never was able to get them, but I had that little leaflet like on my nightstand forever. Yeah. I really
buy the stuff out
wanted
of
the camera, but yeah, I never ended up getting them, but I remember wanting them.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is the actual form here, I guess, for the Reflector. And it says you won't find in any store. So this is one they must not have ever re-released.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not a free one though. It does say that it's $10 plus 2 robot points. So I don't know. I'm guessing that there's only 1 robot point per figure, maybe. But I don't know.
It depended the size of the figure. Some of the bigger figures would have more.
Gotcha.
Higher count robot points.
Gotcha. So with that, you had to have the money and points. So, and then I could not find a form for this next one, but this is the last Transformer one, and this was the Megatron gun mail away figure. I could not find where this actually got ordered from. So, anybody have any memory of this?
Oakland Mills, Columbia, Maryland.
Understood. But like, was it on the back of a toy box that had a form? Was it something separate? Was it in a catalog? Was it from a cereal box? Anybody remember? Did they have this, or do you remember ordering this?
I found the information about this today, and basically when the 86 movie hit, they did a mail away, and you could get either Optimus Prime or Megatron in the mail away, which is funny considering if you saw the 86 movie, you know what happens.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it was just, hey, here's a surplus of stock that we need to get the hell rid of, because now Galvatron or Optimus Prime are our boys, and get them out there and, get rid of this stuff. And I didn't even know about it at the time, because that would have been I would have lost my mind going, I need a Megatron, because my Megatron broke when I was a kid. I would have loved to have a second Megatron.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to get a few last kids attached to these characters before you fucking murder them. So
yes, and then they're in your bathroom for a week and they won't leave. They're crying all the time.
All right. Anybody else have this or remember seeing this at any friend's house or anything like that?
No, I wish I had. It even says P38, Walther P38 on the gun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I remember a friend having it, but
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the actual gun Megatron in any stores. Store like or like I'm talking like now, like the that had the like vintage stuff or anything. I don't think I've ever seen it in person. I've seen the one that turns into a tank. I've seen obviously the Galvatron and all that kind of stuff, but I've never seen like this version where it turned into like a realistic looking gun in person. So it's interesting.
That's because Hasbro will send you the Pinkertons after you if you do. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it for Transformers, and now we start getting into Star Wars. And the next couple lines, we got Star Wars Joes. They had a lot. So sit tight because we got a few of these. So first one here is Admiral Akbar from it says Revenge of the Jedi. So there you go. Right. And it says 6 proofs of purchase. I don't know if there was any money with that. It doesn't look like it. Looks like you just 10 to 12 weeks. So yeah. This is 1983.
General Mills symbol on there too. Is this a cereal thing?
Looks like it could be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So I had this figure. I don't remember it being a mail away, but I had Admiral Akbar, and I remember that little pipe or whatever he has, wand.
Some of these, I don't know if this is one, but some of these they did a retail version after the mail away, so it is possible that could be the case too.
Right. I did eat a lot of cereal in the 80s though, so
yeah. We talked about it with our last episode with some of like the free toys that were in the cereal boxes and stuff, but like that's the one thing that we actually got to have some input on. Like, we could tell my parents anything else as far as like what we wanted for dinner or what we wanted this and that, and they would just told us to shut the F up. But for cereal, we did have a choice. So if I saw something like this, if I knew that this was on a cereal, even if it was one I didn't like, I would be asking for it. So anybody else have this Admiral Akbar or remember it?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was the mail away, but I do remember having it because the Return of the Jedi was kind of like my Star Wars movie, because my older siblings were not getting toys as much, so a lot of the Return of the Jedi stuff was mine. So I remember getting him. I remember not being like super excited because he freaked me the hell out as a child. But
well, this is actually Revenge of the Jedi, so yeah, just FYI.
Yes, yeah,
it's a trap. So all right, the next Star Wars.
I don't hear any music.
This is the Emperor. And I definitely had this one, and I knew a lot of kids had this one. This is probably one of the more popular, I think, mail away figures. Once again, looks like 5 proofs of purchase. I don't see any money needing to be sent with that one. But yeah, I think this was one that a lot of kids tried to get. So anybody else have this one?
Yep. Yeah, I had him.
Yeah. Yep. Got a nod from Alexander. This is that people are looking for audio here, so speak up. Did Joe or Rygon or Greg, anybody have these?
No, I never had them.
I didn't even know anybody who did.
Oh, really?
Is Greg stocking a convenience store cooler? What's going on down there?
He got his Poxus in, well, most of it, and so he's
in his toy room. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Greg, my bad.
Sorry, I'm just trying to build the shelf.
So, Sean, I know you had mentioned this one. What do you remember about this figure? What do you? Hit us with some vintage memories.
I just thought it was really cool to make it. It was almost like an unlockable character in a video game now or something, where it's like, here's this figure. He's not even on the back of the cards, and he's the ultimate evil over Darth Vader even, and all that stuff. So it made it even feel sweeter to get that. And again, my mom being my mom back in the 80s, this was appealing to even her, because she was just like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? They made the Emperor. And me being probably 4, I was like, what does that mean? And she'd explain it to me. I'd be like, well, I'd like that. And she's like, okay. And we sent away for it. It was just that simple. She was always agreeable to do that kind of stuff for me when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
I had an awesome mom. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I see the General Mills logo on there, and then I saw Trevor said General Mills owned Kenner, which I did not know. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, by the way, Trevor, I did send you a link if you're interested in hopping in. If not, I understand because you just had a 1/6 pack. So just FYI. Jesse, you were talking about Return of the Jedi. Is this one that you were also fond of?
I had it and I was happy to have it, but at the same time, this came out, what was this, 83?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the movie came out in 83. I don't remember when the figure came out, but so I was 4 or 5 years old when I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember being severely disappointed. Because I was I didn't quite process, because it was a weird old guy in a dress
with a stick.
It was and then my brother never opened his. We both got him. My brother Joe's 9 years older than me. I remember him being really excited, and I was like, okay, I guess it's cool. But I hated him. I hated that character in the movie so much. I was like a little kid. He was, like Sean was saying, he was pure evil. So I was like, why do I want this? He just sat on his chair and got all wrinkly and falling apart, and then shot lightning bolt at Luke.
Yeah, I don't know when this offer began, but it does say that it expires April 15th, 1984. So,
can someone answer me a question? It's not about the topic. I'm sorry. I'm looking at ordering something on Entertainment Earth, and shipping and processing is $42.99 for one single Transformer.
What?
Holy shit.
I don't know.
I just saw a thing where they had free shipping over $79. That's a big contrast.
That seems a lot for shipping. You might be ordering from Entertainment Mars. So
no,
I think
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Might be having to travel a little further.
Yeah,
okay.
Really quick on this figure, the really cool thing about it is, because of my mom being my mom in this case, it was one of the few times where she actually hooked me up with 2 of the Emperor's guards so that I could have them on either side of them. And it was that's the beginning of this problem.
Yeah. Those things were fucking cool, man.
Those guards were freaking amazing. To this day, I think that's one of the coolest costume designs, movie wise. And I love that you didn't even know what they did in the movie, because all they did was stand there and they leave, and it was really spooky.
Badass. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, we've got another Star Wars one here, and this is Bosk. So I know that he definitely got a carded release. At some point. But this was the mail away version. So anybody have this, whether it was mail away or carded?
I have them carded, probably.
Never had that one.
Really? I figured with him being
not
one of
as
those
a kid.
bounty hunters that most people would have him.
Yeah. Right. My kids got all of those later on in the vintage collection. But
yeah,
not as a kid.
Yeah, I definitely had this one. It was not the mail away version, but I did have this. So, okay. All right. Moving on. Next we've got Anakin Skywalker from Return of the Jedi.
He looks different.
Anybody?
Somehow.
A little bit.
I never had them, but a friend of mine did.
Yeah. This one looks like it ended in 85, so it was a little bit after the movie. What were you saying, Sean?
This one is the one that my mom actually used bad language in front of me because she realized that she was too late in sending things in. So I never got one. But the idea, my mom was like, when she found out it expired, she actually got really mad. So I guess she was the bigger fan than me.
Okay.
I was happier to get the Emperor because he at least was evil. There was that vibe of, okay, he's like the ultimate evil you got to fight. Anakin Skywalker, I would have just been like, he's here, and that's nice. I don't know what to do with him. So.
Yeah. And we've got Trevor here. Trevor 16.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Trevor.
I didn't see your invite, Curtis.
Yeah. Had to come over and super chat you and let you know that we're over here because I knew we were going to talk some Star Wars. So
I appreciate your cross advertising on my show. It's great.
No problem.
I wish I had this one. I don't know if you're going to talk about the one I do have, but I wish I had this one. This is kind of cool.
Does anybody know? I couldn't find a ton of pictures on this one. Does anybody know if it came with a lightsaber or was it just the dude?
It's just the dude.
Oh, okay.
It was
just the dude. Yeah, because he never had a lightsaber in the movie. So
yeah. I mean, yeah.
This one was so bad for me to the point. Again, I got it, and I was just like, cool, because like my brother like explained it to me, and I'm like, no, I get it, but like, what am I gonna do with it? He just shows up in the movie ends. Like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you know your playtime's over. Is if your mom shows you that one, then you're like, oh god, I gotta wrap this up in 5 minutes. Okay, guys, Anakin's here. I gotta go. Bye.
We do have a question.
Random old man showing up to smile at a bunch of kids. So nothing weird about that.
Nothing creepy there.
Question from the chat. Stephanie Orkin wants to know what Sean's mom's bad language was.
My guess is, because I don't remember it exactly, but it was probably something along the lines of "doggone it." That was about it.
Wow!
I was gonna say, knowing your mom, it was not actual bad language.
Oh, fiddlesticks. My mom only started using real swear words at me when I was 16 and sneaking out of the house a lot more. She never really went for the bad stuff until I was old enough to know, oh, mom just said that. I know I did something wrong.
Yeah.
So, but it was mostly fiddlesticks, doggone it, dag nabbit, things like that. Sugar plums.
The next Star Wars one that we've got Han Solo in the Stormtrooper costume. This was a Kellogg's Fruit Loop with 2 proofs of purchase. So
Han Swolo.
There you go. Yeah, he looks jacked.
This was the 90s line.
Yeah, aren't you a little buff for a Stormtrooper?
I can't hear you over my triceps.
And like, what's he
I'm here to rescue you.
I'm here to rescue you and everybody else. You got 5 minutes of playtime.
He's holding his helmet, Jesse.
Yeah, you can see in the picture he's holding his helmet, but when it comes in the bag, it doesn't look the greatest.
It looks like he's holding his helmet.
At least he's wearing hockey pads.
Yeah. I remember a Luke one with the Stormtrooper with the helmet. I don't remember the Han Solo. Did anybody have this or remember
I
this?
did. I had both. Those are like 2 of my favorite figures when I was younger.
Yeah.
They were always infiltrating. They were like the super spies of Star Wars.
I did like that removable helmet gimmick, like for a toy. Like that was kind of cool.
It's great because you got that reveal, you know. Oh, it was us all along.
The phone calls are coming from inside the house.
Who says I'm too short to be a stormtrooper? Ha!
Yeah.
Everything's fine here. We're fine here.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah. How are you?
How are you?
Okay. And the next Star Wars one, and probably the most iconic, the rocket firing Boba Fett that did not have the firing rocket because you got the little note over here. Originally, our Star Wars Boba Fett action figure was designed to have a spring-launched rocket. The launcher was removed for product for safety reasons. If you're dissatisfied with this product, please return it, and we will replace it with any Star Wars mini action figure of your choice. Thank you for your support.
I wonder if anybody did that. So this is why I came on.
Just about that.
Because I have this figure. I got this figure from this thing. And here, if you don't mind me sharing something.
Go ahead.
You'll have to share it. But
okay. Yeah.
So my dad like photocopied this because he was very proud of my writing on this. So you got it up there? No. I'll read it to you.
Are you sending it to me?
No, I'm sharing it.
I see it. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Gentlemen, I have enclosed the proof of purchase seal from the Star Wars Cantina Adventure Set, which comes with 4 goon figures, which is what they called them on the packaging. The figures didn't come in packages, nor with proof of purchase seals. Therefore, I thought if I sent the seal from the Adventure Set, you would know that I also bought the 4 goons with it. And is it possible for me to get the Boba Fett figure? Please answer. Sincerely yours, Trevor Williams. And they sent it to me.
Wow.
I'd write that nice now.
That's cool, but
I know 7-year-old Joe doesn't have that good of penmanship.
Yeah.
In cursive. Cool. Yeah. So I found this like a few years ago. Like my dad had like scanned this or something and had it on his computer or had it like scanned. So I scanned it on the computer. It was very funny, but they did send it to me. So I was very happy, but I was very disappointed that it did not have a rocket firing backpack. That was very much a bummer. But yeah.
Well, that's cool. I have a little story about this character myself, because this is another one that I did mail away for, because you had to have Boba Fett, and eventually, obviously, he did get a carded release, but at the time, this was the way to get it. And I got this figure, and I was really excited for it. And I would go for the summers. I would go to Ohio and visit my grandma, and that's where my cousins and stuff live. And I was visiting my cousin. I was showing him my Boba Fett that I was so proud of. And we were playing outside, doing like the whole playing in the dirt kind of thing. And we went in to go get something to eat because his mom called us. We came back out and his dog had chewed up Boba Fett. Like there was basically nothing left. It was just like chewed up blue and green plastic, like all over the ground. So yeah.
You had some terrible friends with action figures, man. Like you just every one of your friends, like either stole stuff from you or they gave it away to them, or it's terrible.
But it was anybody like super distraught with this by not getting the rocket firing action?
Yeah, I was bummed. It was a bummer.
It's interesting. I didn't try to get this figure because I had watched the movies and Boba Fett didn't do anything. So it wasn't that appealing to me.
He was so cool.
Yeah.
You did not watch the Christmas special, the holiday special.
I didn't, unfortunately, until I was much older. Otherwise, I probably would have wanted him and his zap stick.
Exactly.
But yeah, he didn't do anything. So yeah, I wasn't. And then he got beat by blind Han Solo. I wanted some tough figures.
Gets like beat by blind Luke Skywalker in the comics too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he
bends over and fires a rocket.
That's his kryptonite. Yeah. Blind people. He just can't.
Yep. You better hope he never has to fight Daredevil.
Yeah.
He'll never walk again.
Mismatch.
Do you guys know his cousin Melvin Fett? That's not a joke. Like there's a Star Wars Tales comic book where there's a character Melvin Fett.
That's not canon.
I don't believe it is, but it is fucking funny.
That's what the action when he launches the missile. It's called the Melvin Fett. You didn't know that?
Well, it depends on where he launches it. Then you call it a Melvin.
Different in Canada, I'm told.
That's because he's been over it like that. He's got a Melvin.
He's performing the Melvin right there.
I think Jesse might know of Melvin Fett. Like he was out of everybody in the group. I was like, Jesse might know, but all right.
Why do you just assume I'm the biggest nerd?
Well, experience.
Experience, lad. You should learn to appreciate it.
All right.
Anything else on this, guys? Anything else on the Boba Fett or the little PC message from Kenner on this?
I have my brother's on my display shelf. Still have it.
What were you saying, Joe?
Well, you can't blame them. I mean, a kid had just choked to death on a firing missile.
Yeah. Back in the day, about the same time, we had the Battlestar Galactica ships.
Mm-hmm.
And they both fired rockets like from the front of them. Like they really they threw those things, man. They would go across the room. There was some velocity, and I think those things got recalled too for that same very reason.
Yeah.
Some kid, some
I
idiot.
don't know
There's
that
always
it's
some idiot
small
kid in the
part.
Midwest who choked on it.
Well,
and it was
but like
I
they
don't know
ruined
that
it for
it's not
everybody.
making
though, because
projectile
if you
weapons
see
now.
like the gun is actually smaller than that rocket. I don't think it was necessarily the choking part as much as the firing action. But I could be wrong. So,
but like they didn't.
No, there were
stop
kids that
making
would just
toys that shot stuff though. After this, like they kept making.
Well,
I had toys.
small
that shot
things they had to be bigger though. I think they had to have like big, balls on the end of them or something like that.
You were not
such
gonna
natural
choke-
selection.
You were not
Yeah,
gonna
well,
choke
I
on the
agree with
ram
that.
Or the battle ram missile was not going to be choked on. You'd have to really, really want to swallow that thing if you wanted to choke on it.
Challenge accepted.
yeah,
I
mean,
know.
Trevor's
I'll
point,
let
if
you
you got
try
something-
that, but I'm just.
Yeah, I agree with Trevor. If you got something flying in your face, you definitely want it to have big balls on it for sure.
Yeah, it's got to have a big ball. Right?
What's your
All right, good night.
And do that.
I did my story, so I'm out.
All right.
See you guys.
Appreciate it, Trevor.
Bye.
I think that's the last Star Wars. Anyways, we're getting ready to go into some Joes.
Like 1-6 shot.
There we go. And here is the first Joe, and I have no recollection of this. I was sent this earlier today. This is Starduster. So I think this was Alexander, or was this Sean? One of you guys. Who sent me this?
That was Alexander.
Alexander, go ahead.
That's definitely a village person in there. Just saying.
He had very much village person vibes. I liked him because of the color of him. He was like that mint, like green aqua.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't even remember like sending away for it. I just remember having it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean it
Thought it was cool.
it does have a rocket pack, and that's always cool. So I just never heard of this character or seen this before. So
First time today for me too.
yeah. Well, there you go.
Starduster is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an 80s name.
That is an 80s
I think
name.
he's from the Eliminators. I don't know.
This is if David Bowie joined G.I. Joe. I mean, that name is definitely like.
Well, and then the next one we got from Alexander was this one that apparently had like some comic strips with it. And then get Super Trooper free, and he had some like vac metal parts to him.
Way to go! You just triggered Curtis.
And I found
No,
this
because we
picture of him
actually
with
got
kind of
it
a
though.
cool pose with the shield and the. He looks very futuristic. So
He looks like he should be on Captain Power.
yeah.
He looks like something out of like
Yeah, I think
a
it was
Stallone
the
movie.
Joe's version of Captain Power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe
He looks
it.
like he should be in the Super
Demolition
Troopers
Man.
movie, and his name is Super Trooper. So, yeah, cool. It came with had a little comic strip thing to get it. It says how to get your free Super Trooper action figure and bio card, and so there you go. You got to fill it out, and probably needed proofs of purchase or some other BS with it, and so there you go. Next, we have the Steel Brigade, where you
Oh my
can
god.
be the next Joe. And you sent them information for yourself, and they sent you this character, but this character was you as a G.I. Joe.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I did not have this figure. I don't know anybody that did have this figure, but it was a very popular campaign because who doesn't want to be part of that action figure line? So
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't remember this, but I totally had that figure. Yeah.
yeah.
I actually remember filling out the questionnaire thing. That's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't remember it
There
at
you go.
all, but as soon as it popped up, yeah, I totally had that.
We hit Joe in the member berries.
Yeah, I remember filling
like
that
I said,
out.
my childhood is fuzzy. So.
I remember filling that out, but the hardest part was they asked you what the name of the character was going to be, and I never could come up with something that I thought was cool enough to be a figure, and I never sent it in because I just had this like self-doubt about the name all the time.
Paralysis by analysis.
Paralysis by overthinking. I think if I remember it, the name that I had listed was Padlock because his face reminded me of like a lock. Like but I was like, I don't like that enough to want to have a character called Padlock, so that's why I never sent it in.
Gotcha. Was anybody else part of the Steel Brigade? No.
Yep. Have you ever seen Vala's collection of the Steel Brigades? He's got like every variation, like every file card. It is insane. See what you want about it, but it's pretty cool.
I just have to turn down the volume when I watch it. So
fair enough.
The next one from G.I. Joe is Lifeline. And this was a serial one. And the reason this one was allowed to be on there is because he was the only character without a gun. But they had to redesign it from the carded version to take the holster off of him, is my understanding. So he's a little bit different than the carded version, but yeah, Lifeline. He was the pacifist of G.I. Joe, so he was okay to be on a serial giveaway.
Or it could also be because he didn't have a gun, they couldn't give this guy away, and that's why he ended up being one of these things.
It could be, but they did actually do some retooling for this giveaway. So yeah. Anybody have this one or a recollection of this figure?
I had this figure, but I don't know if it was the mail away or the carded version. I'm not sure.
I remember filling the thing out, but I never got the enough UPCs or whatever it was to get it.
Now, you could also get a My Little Pony on this form, or you could get a Weeble. So that was also part of this. I did not include.
They wobble.
Separate pictures of those. They did wobble, but they did not fall down. So, all right. The next Joe on the list is the Fridge. And this one I definitely had. This was freaking classic. Love the Fridge. Don't know why they haven't made one for classified. My understanding is that Refrigerator Perry actually could use some money right now. So it'd be really nice if they figured out a way to do that and get the guy a paycheck. Plus it'd be cool just to have that character in the classified line. But yeah, I absolutely loved this figure. Anybody else have this one?
Nope, I did not. But is that a football maze?
Well, on the picture it is, yes, a football maze or football what is it, like the flail. But on the weapon that came with it, obviously they didn't have chains or anything like that or do rope. So yeah, it ended up being like a football mace. So yeah, there you go. And then he had his football jersey on.
These things now.
What's that?
Could you imagine doing these mail away figures now?
Oh, it would be awesome.
With like inbox collectors, they'd be like, I don't know if I should open it to cut the thing out.
Well, and that's what when I got these pictures of the Joes, I saw like they had the file cards and they had like this red backing on them with the figure. And so, yeah, it looked like, I mean, at least the pictures that I pulled up for these different figures, it looked like a lot of people kept them in the baggies and didn't take them out, which I don't know how you do that as a toy collector, but okay.
With our modern post office, you'd never get your figure.
That's true too. Yeah. Man, I thought this was going to be a more popular one. I figured a bunch of you guys would have had this one. This was
I remember the whole campaign and everything. But
Mhm.
when I was a kid, I was a 49ers fan. I still am, but I didn't want a character from the Bears. You know, that didn't make any sense to young Joe. So I specifically chose not to get this one.
And this one here says 5 special fridge proofs of purchase. So it couldn't just be regular proofs of purchase. It had to be special fridge proofs of purchase from inside specially marked G.I. Joe packaging. So I'm not sure which one's qualified for that, but just FYI. So there you go. All right. And the next one, Sergeant Slaughter. Come on, you guys had to have this one, right?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
No,
I did not.
Yep.
Yeah.
My cousin had it.
Alexander had it. Joe, did you have it?
I had a Sergeant Slaughter, but I think it was the one that came with that little white tank. I don't know if it was the mail away version. Now, I was a big wrestling fan in the 80s, so I mean, he was Cobra clutching out Cobra, so you know, I love Sergeant Slaughter, but
yeah.
I don't think I had the mail away one.
Yeah, this one I had to have. Sean, did you have this one?
So I have a quick story. I did not have this. I had the other one that came with the vehicle, like Joe was saying. And I had a similar thing to what your Boba Fett story is. I got that figure about a week before, and we were up in Pennsylvania that weekend, and he was one of the. I brought like all my Joes with me, and he was one that I was specifically like. He was the highlight one because he was the new one and all that stuff. And I put him on my bed, and I left the room for a second. Come back in the room. And there is Sergeant Slaughter laying on the floor, and my dog chewed one of his arms off. So my Sergeant Slaughter was handicapped. And my mom looked at me and she goes, "I'm not buying you another one," and walked out of the room. And I bawled because I was like, I just got this, and my dog decided that was his chew toy for the day. So
man.
If I would have known about this, I would have done this because it would have been a free figure at least. So I'm kind of annoyed.
Chris Kelly popped in. Says that a lot of these ones that we're finding with the bags and the red cars, those are actually warehouse finds. So maybe I guess they found them after the fact. So that'd be cool to fucking just stumble on a case of something like that.
No kidding.
Shit, that'd be nice.
Convenient.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else remember this one or remember seeing it at their friends or anything like that?
I think I had a. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I had a friend when I lived in New Cumberland, which means nothing to most of you. Lived across the street. Like he had his whole backyard was like dug up, at least in my memory. It was like a fenced-in backyard, but he had like pits dug, to be like an arena and like a base and all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure that's the only time I ever saw the Sergeant Slaughter was at his house. He had tons of Joes and vehicles and stuff.
And Alexander?
Yeah, I had this one. And I had the one that came with the tank. And I don't remember what one lasted, but I remember one of them broke.
Ooh.
Because we were out playing with them. Don't remember which one though.
Gotcha. Yeah, just I don't know, just an iconic character in that line. And, like I was saying earlier, I just love the whole, him and Serpentor relationship. And yeah, cool. Definitely had to have that one. And
was there anybody else that the real Sergeant Slaughter was kind of fat and the figure was like super?
I tried to separate the wrestling / real version of Sergeant Slaughter from the cartoon and toy version because I did not like Sergeant Slaughter the wrestler, but I loved Sergeant Slaughter the cartoon character. Yeah,
I'm right there with you. I thought he was a douche.
Yeah, especially like what was it, late 80s, early 90s? He did that whole where he kind of went against America in the wrestling storyline, and yeah, it's like no, That's
The Soviets or something.
Well,
Like
he
that.
was supposed to be bad then.
yeah. Yep. And the last one that I think I've got here is one more, and it's probably the most iconic mail-in figure with a lot of there's been a lot of controversy and back and forth over the years, and the mystery was kind of solved. I think it was like 2 or 3 years back, but it is. Oh no, sorry, not to that one yet because I forgot we got Hooded Cobra Commander. So scratch everything that I was just saying. Hooded Cobra Commander, which you know what? I wish that they would do this today. I understand that Hasbro is afraid to put a hooded character in retail for whatever reason. They're okay with putting it on their YouTube every freaking day, playing the cartoons, but they're afraid to put it in retail. But like, give us a mail away Hooded Cobra Commander because that'd be awesome. But I will say that the Cobra Commander on the little giveaway card there, like that you fill out, looks way cooler than the actual figure that you got. So, anybody have this one or remember this one?
I had it.
I had this one, and it was one of my favorite figures, but I definitely didn't get it from a Woolworths because there was no Woolworths in my area.
Yeah.
I remember this one specifically because there was a time limit and I had waited too long to mail in the points, and so I mailed it like a week before it expired. And then, of course, I'm a little kid, so I was super nervous. Right. But they sent the figure and I got it. And I remember being super excited, to have it. So, that was one of my favorite figures as a small child.
I'd love to get it,
but it wasn't from Woolworths.
I would love to get one now.
But it's Action Force, isn't that not
later
in the
on?
US?
I know.
Yeah, this was. I tried to pull up the forms that I could. This is the only form that I could find for this one.
Oh,
obviously, Action Force is overseas and stuff, so it was probably in a different retailer here.
Right.
But yeah, I would just like to get a character now that looks like that one in the picture, like in the drawing. That's badass looking. So, but cool. Anybody else have this character?
Yeah.
No.
Got a yes from Sean. No from a bunch of others.
My cousin stole this from his buddy.
Oh, nice.
He was a fucking degenerate.
Very nice. Kelly popped in again, says, as far as the Sergeant Slaughter thing, that was punishment from Vince for spending a few years doing Joe things away from wrestling. He no longer wanted him to be face and made him go heel. So once again, just another reason not to like Vince McMahon. So there you go. If you needed another reason, there it is. So now I believe possibly we're at the character that I was talking about, which is Wonder Bread He-Man. For a lot of years, this thing was called Wonder Bread He-Man because people thought it was some sort of Wonder Bread giveaway that they had. It turns out it was not. What this was with the original 8-pack that came out, there was a deal where if you bought 3 characters, you could send in the proofs of purchase and you could get another one free, which is what that little ticket is that you see behind it. And the one that you would get free was this one that got, eventually known as Wonder Bread He-Man. It's basically just a repaint of the He-Man figure with no harness. It did have a series of weapons with it. And then through some complaints from people that got it that said, hey, this is just a repaint. It's not another character and he doesn't have any accessories or whatever. They stopped making it. And then they took all the weapons and threw them in with Manny Faces, with some of the early releases of Manny Faces that came out. And you'll find some online. If you buy a vintage, like a mock Manny Face, you'll find some that they call Manny Weapons, because they threw all the extra weapons that were going to go with this character with those. So yeah, Wonder Bread He-Man. Anybody ever had one of these or seen any one of these? I know they're not very common, but
nope. Nope.
I had
This is
no
I've
idea
actually-
that this existed, but my Manny faces did come with the extra like rust colored weapons. So
Yep.
I remember that.
Well, there you go. Sean, I know you're a big Motu guy. Any other tidbits that you'd want to kind of throw in there on the whole Wonder Bread He-Man controversy over the years?
I mean, they call it the Mandela effect, where you think something happened and then it turns out it didn't happen. But to this day, I still remember my mom reading the paper and finding an ad that had to do with this, and it was connected to Wonder Bread. Well, and this is like from my childhood. I don't know why I still remember that. And actually, no, I do know why, because that was the one time where she goes, "I'm not doing that." And it was flat out like, you already have enough of these figures. I'm not sending away even if it's free, you don't need another figure right now, and we're not doing this. And I didn't fight her because I didn't know what the deal was. But if I would have known then what I know now, I would have been like, no, you're sending that in, because that ends up being a big deal. I mean, the closest I ever got to it was I got Wondar in Classics. And I always thought that was funny because they tied in the Wonder Bread logo on the back of his Cosmic Enforcer
and gave him a
armor.
loaf of bread.
And they gave him a loaf of bread.
The loaf
and
of bread is still one of my favorite accessories. Yeah.
It is a great accessory.
And he actually has the coolest power sword, in my opinion, because the hilt and the handle are all black and the rest is all silver. And when I found that out, I'm like, that's just so much more metal looking than He-Man's. I had to get him just based on that alone. So
yeah, and there's some people that swear that it was connected with the Wonder Bread thing, and I mean, considering that it was definitely part of this deal. That's been confirmed just based on some letters and some other things that they found. It was definitely part of this buy 3 get 1 free deal.
Yeah.
But considering that they stopped making or stopped sending it out for these, and we did have the extra weapons that ended up going with the Manny faces. It is quite possible that there was some extra bodies that maybe they gave to Wonder Bread that were part of, because I know Wonder Bread had some deals with Masters of the Universe, and maybe they had some of those as well. But there's not been, as far as I've seen, any sort of connection that actually has confirmed, hey, this was part of this Wonder Bread deal. But I think it's just interesting that it got so tied in with that Wonder Bread giveaway that it got the name Wonder Bread He-Man. And then, like you said, then in Classics kind of just changed it to Wondar. And now we've got, Wondar characters in Origins and in the Masterverse line. And, it's just like it's a thing now. So one of those, like you said, Mandela effects that became a real thing. So
yeah, he even showed up in both Revelation and in Revolution as well.
Yeah.
So at this point, he has a place in the canon. And I'm sure at this point he's always just going to be called Wondar because of Classics and everything. But the other thing too is, if I had this when I was a kid, now granted now I don't have the hair, but when I was a kid I had dark brown hair. So if I would have had this He-Man as a kid, I probably would have just put the harness on him and said, this is my He-Man now, because it felt more like this is what I would look like doing. Obviously not with the abs and the pecs, but just the idea here is a brown-haired He-Man that I could play with instead of just a blonde-haired He-Man all the time. And that would have been really cool. I wouldn't have been that upset, even though he doesn't have a harness on or whatever.
Yeah, and that's another point on this thing, because part of the thing that got tied up with this, because when people would find these later on in life, and there was the whole mystery behind where this thing came from. A lot of times you would find these with a black Zodak armor on it. And what happened there was that black Zodak armor actually came from a weapons pack. And what I think occurred, or what makes sense, is that this figure came with no armor on it. And so when that weapons pack came out and you had the black Zodak armor, I think kids just naturally you got a figure with no armor, you've got this extra armor. They threw it together, and somehow that got tied in. So even now when you see like the versions of Wondar, they have that black Zodak armor on it, and it's because kids just took it from that weapons pack and threw it on this character that was just bare chested, figure. So
here's you being the Cosmic Enforcer guy. I know it's Xanthor's your guy, but you like the Cosmic Enforcers. Do you accept him as one of them now that he's
I've got a shelf right behind me with him on.
Okay, very cool.
I've got both versions of Zodak. I've got Xanthor. I've got Zodak had a brother, which I can't remember his name, in the 2000X series. They just mentioned it quickly in one episode.
Got eaten. Yeah, he got eaten.
Yeah, by the Snake Man. Yeah,
by
I
King
made
Hiss,
him as a custom. And then there's also a God, I can't remember Techno from the what's that line? Oh shit! I'm Sean. You got to help me out here. It's down like in South America where they had taken the
Fuerza T.
Fuerza T. They made a character called Techno that had a Zodak head on it, and it was like this like blue robot figure. It kind of used Trapjaw's arm, but it's like all in silver, and it had the accessory, the Trapjaw accessories, and then it had Zodak's head. And I even include I've got a custom of that I put in with my Cosmic Enforcers as well. So
you are thorough. That's impressive.
I absolutely love the Cosmic Enforcers, and without giving any spoilers for anything going on Masters wise in cartoons right now, I'm just hoping that we get some of Cosmic Enforcers as we move forward, because that's definitely my jam. So
very cool.
So that was it for mail away figures. Anything in there that popped up that you had forgotten about or jogged your memories or that you found was cool?
Yes. The Iron Brigade one blew me away because I had no memory of that at all. But as soon as I saw it, I remember getting it. I even remember filling out the form. So yeah, that was crazy.
That was cool. Anybody else?
A flashback like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. Seeing Trevor's letter was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. I can't believe that he had a copy of it after all these years. So,
dude, if my penmanship was that good, I would have kept everything that I wrote. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I really, going into this, I didn't think I was going to have many of these, but then I was like, okay, well, I had the superpowers ones for sure, because I had every single character in superpowers. I did have Fridge. I had Sergeant Slaughter. I had the Emperor. So I ended up having a lot more of these than I thought. But yeah, just a cool time to be a kid. That like you got these figures. They had the checklist on the back, so you could kind of see like which ones you had, which ones you didn't have. You could mark them off, and then you cut out these proofs of purchase and you save them in your little baggie or whatever, and wait for something to come along to where you can mail these things in. It's just a cool time to be a kid,
Well, I mean, the hooded Cobra Commander one, that one was like, I mean, literally you turned on the cartoon and it was a 50-50 shot. You either had the mirror mask version or you had the hooded version, depending what season of the show it was on or whatever. And I, looking up stuff for this, I didn't even realize that the mirror mask version of Cobra Commander was a mail away figure before he was carded, apparently. So that was another one that I had the carded one, I'm pretty sure, because if I understood right, the mail away one didn't have the Cobra symbol done completely right on his jacket. So that's how you know you got the mail away one, and then the carded one has the proper Cobra logo, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand why they don't do it, but I'm starting to be in the same boat as you, where I'm like, it would be kind of cool to have the variant, because all they've been doing right now is this one just painted differently. So it would be kind of cool to get, here's the hooded version, and just call it a day finally.
Well, I've been watching
or
a
even
lot
if it was just the
G.I.
head.
Joe lately.
Yeah, even if it was just the head. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Well,
the
snakes
watching a lot
came
of
with the cape.
Oh, say what's that? What, Regon?
The Snake Supreme, the Hasbro, the Pulse exclusive came with the
Yeah.
cape.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
not
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of GI Joe lately, and what I've seen is there's a lot of episodes where he has both looks in the same cartoon, and what it looks like is like when they're actually out, like on a mission, doing a battle, taking over something, he's got the helmet on, and when they're just kind of like lounging at the lair, talking about their evil plans, like he's got the hood on. So it's kind of like, okay, he when he's kicking back and relaxing and talking shit about Joe's, it's hood. But if he's gonna go out there, he's not gonna take a laser off the noggin. So he throws on his helmet. It's kind of what it looks like. But there are definitely episodes where he's wearing the helmet the whole time, and there's episodes where he's wearing the hood the whole time. But I've seen a lot where he kind of goes back and forth in one single episode. So. And got a couple comments here I want to pull up. Dominic Espinoza says Cosmic Enforcers of the shit. That is correct. And you are the best Mexican meme maker. So thank you very much. Dave Organ says, what about the spacesuit looking Cobra Commander? I really like that version. I think it's called the Battle Armor Cobra Commander. But I know it doesn't get a lot of love. What about you guys?
I had that one, and it had the little hose
that always got lost.
I thought that was a fantastic figure. I never lost anything, man.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, really? He had the jetpack too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every character is cooler with a jetpack. So.
Heck yeah.
Was there ever a Ninja Turtles mail away figure?
The only one I could find, I looked it up. The only one I could find was that Shredder from the Chef Boyardee, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Jesse, do you know of any other turtle mail away things that I missed?
Not like actual figures from the line. There might have been like weird, like little like tchotchke type stuff, but not like
gotcha.
Not any like real figures, no.
Yeah.
But I was like horrible at knowing what was available for mail away stuff, like especially like at that point, because getting to just like watch cartoons on Saturday morning, unless I was over at Sean's or he was over, like I didn't get to do that. I was doing stuff with my stepdad or whatever, and so I'm not the best to ask about the mail away stuff, unfortunately.
I also didn't get into the adult version of Proofs of Purchase, which became Marlboro Miles, but that was a whole thing too.
My dad
yeah,
that's how you got a Rio Blast.
Yeah,
having that Marlboro jacket on, I was like,
oh, that jacket was the shit, man. That Marlboro Man jacket. Yeah.
I didn't have that. I had the Pepper Windbreaker.
Yeah. They had some cool shit in there too, man. It was like back in the day when you'd be in school and you'd have to like sell magazines or candy bars or something, and then you had like the little shit that you could pick out based on like how much money you brought in, and it was like really shitty prizes. The Marlboro Miles was like that, but actually with good prizes. The only downfall was you had to give yourself cancer. So. Yeah. But I worked at a bowling alley, and my first job actually was my second job, but the one that I had for a long time when I was in high school and then college was working at a bowling alley, and I would clean up after people. And so like they would just leave like their packs after they were done. They would leave them on the table or leave them on the floor or whatever, and I would get so many Marlboro Miles just from cleaning up after people. Yeah, never got the jacket though. So cool.
Yeah, I had Camel Cash when they stopped doing the Camel Cash promotion. I think I still had over like 200.
Oh wow!
Damn. Yeah,
you should call them and see if they
a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't think I have now. I actually got a lot of stuff. I had like fancy ashtrays and stuff like that. But when I went through my first divorce, anything that I had gotten from Camel, my ex-wife took. So that I lost out. Her for nothing. So
She took your camel cash with her. Damn.
Not the cash, the stuff I got with it.
Oh,
The cash is probably still in a box somewhere. It's worthless now.
she's like, I want the house, the car, the dog, and the camel cash.
No, my house was pretty crappy. Nobody wanted that. We were fighting each other to see who would get it.
So he said, "You can keep the house. I'll take the camel cash."
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That was pretty much how it went.
Oh, very nice. All right. Well, anything else, guys? We're right at the 2-hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably a show. We'll go around the horn and see what everybody's got going on. Any kind of stuff to have people tune into, any shows or whatever. We'll start just start at the top, work our way down. Sean, got anything coming up?
I know we're trying to schedule a point where you, Jesse, me, and the Dooch will be doing a Revolution discussion, episode by episode of the Netflix show. So that's in the future. I don't know when. We're still working on scheduling, but that will be on a Legends of Grayskull episode. Actually, 5 episodes. So
okay,
look forward to that.
All right, that'll be fun. Jesse,
Is season 2 only 5 episodes?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, there's no second part.
Haven't
Jesse?
watched it yet, so.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry, I'm deep diving on this stupid Cobra Hood thing, and apparently, Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, the producer of the movies, is the person that's taking credit for getting Hasbro to drop it.
Oh, all right. So he's the one that we need to tell he's an asshole.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Where can people find you? What you got going on? All that kind of good stuff.
Well, people can find me right here every other Friday night on OffWorld.
Yeah.
And its various forms and mutations.
Stages.
Where else? Well, you and I do a show on Sunday nights called Shooting the Shelf.
We do.
On the Just Shelf It channel.
Is that new?
And that Sunday night we've got Ryan's wife Amber is on this Sunday, and
the more
along
popular
with Tanya
Gonzalez.
McCoy.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
His face just got redder. Can you see it? I can see it. His face just got a little bit redder. He's holding back that anger.
Yeah, if you could make sure, Ryan, that you've got the computer all set up and ready to go for her, that would be great. Okay, because I don't know what other things you got going on. Saturday Day Live, Sunday Day Live, whatever.
Make sure everything's charged.
Just clear out of the area.
Every time she uses this, there's always something loose, or something turned up too loud, or something missing. This is ridiculous.
Jesse and I also have these Wednesday one shot?
Wednesday one shots.
And we've got 2 up so far. So they're dropping every Wednesday. We will continue to have those. So it's always going to be stuff that we're recommending. So it's never going to be stuff that we're shitting on. If it's something we agree, we'll both be on there. If it's something that one of us likes and the other one doesn't, we may be by ourselves or with another person. But yeah, that's it. They're like 15 minutes. And we try to be as spoiler free as we can on those. So there's 2 up there if you guys are interested in those. And then Jesse's also got the Mythic Minute on Thursday, where he's been having some guests lately.
Yeah, since getting to do StreamYard into the Cabal and everything, it's easier to have people on. So once a month, I'm going to have one of the approved retailers on to talk about their shop and their stuff. And
Nice.
yesterday I had Sarah Woodward on, because she and I both kind of started doing this welcome conversation or greeting to folks new to the Cabal. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about that for a little bit. And actually tomorrow night, I think it's tomorrow night. Is tomorrow Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
I have no concept of time. I am going to be the guest or prisoner of the Purple Gang Gang on the Purple Gang Gang show. They've been spreading lots of lies and false information about being kidnapped and kept in my basement. I don't have the energy, time, or effort to kidnap people.
Or the basement.
I don't have a basement. There is
basement.
a basement in my building, but I do not have access to it. It is not something I go into. I've been in it once because there was some sort of fire alarm going off down there that my former landlord of the building told me to kick the door in and go down to investigate.
See, I just don't know whether to believe you, Jesse, because at one point you said you didn't have a basement. Then you say you have a basement, but it's not yours. You don't have access to it. Then you say you've never been in the basement. Then you say you have been in the basement. So
no, I
the
said
story
I don't
keeps changing, and I just don't like at this point. I've got to lean towards believing Purple Gang Gang. So
you're tweaking my words.
I'm not tweaking anything.
I don't have a basement. There is a basement in the building. I do not own the building. It is not mine. I do not have.
And you have been in it.
I have been in it once. I do not go into it. I don't have access to it. The only reason I had access to it is because I kicked the door in and broke the
so you got violent in the basement, is what you're saying.
I was told by the landlord to kick the door in and go check out to why the alarm was going off. Because she did not live on site.
Your building does have a basement. You've been in it, and you were violent in the basement.
I was not violent in the basement. I was violent to the door to the basement.
Okay. I'm just saying it's starting to sound like Purple Gang Gang might be right. That's all I'm saying. So.
That's a
tune in to find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Find
on
out
the next episode
tomorrow night.
Show. Man, you're supposed to be my co-host. Be on my side.
All right. We'll see. Ryan, you guys going live tomorrow?
Yes, at 6 p.m. for Saturday Day Live at night, after hours, evening edition, whatever you want to call it, over on the Hedgehog Action YouTube channel.
Saturday Day Night Live after hours. Yeah.
And I can tell you where I will never be on Shooting the Shelf because they chose Amber over me, and I still think that's bullshit.
For the record,
ouch.
This ought to be interesting.
Here comes the spin.
I don't know how to say this without sounding like a complete douchebag. Amber and Tanya are on because I messaged.
This was I know. Amber told me about it. This was like a long time coming, even before they even started that.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
I think
I didn't specifically ask for Tanya and Amber, so I didn't pick her over you.
I think that we do need to get this out in the open though, because I've heard, I got a bone to pick with Tanya, and I'm hoping that she watches this. If she doesn't, I'll clip this part and send it to her.
I hope Tanya's not watching this.
Because here's the thing, Tanya. She has talked a lot about, I talked to Lauren and we had this idea about creating a show and all this and that and blah, 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 blah. But she doesn't give credit to Jesse. And what I'm going to say is Jesse reached out to Lauren and said, hey, I'd like to have some ladies from the show come on and be on with us. But I don't want to reach out to people individually because I'm kind of creepy or whatever he said. I don't know. There's something like that. But he said, hey, I'd like to have some people on the show. And Lauren then reached out to the ladies and said, hey, Jesse's looking to have some people on the show or whatever. Then Tanya's like, boom, what if we had a show? But nobody ever gives credit to Jesse for starting Legion's Ladies YouTube. And so I'm going to tell you right now, Jesse is the creator, founder, originator of Legion's Ladies YouTube channel.
No,
you heard it here first, folks. There you go.
Now that's some good drama. How will it resolve? Tune in to Shooting the Shelf.
I'm going to flat out tell you,
Sunday.
Tanya came up and basically said as much, in a much nicer way than Curtis just said at Legion's Con. That in talking about it, it was like, oh, hey, why don't we do a thing? So I'm not taking credit for it. It's not something
you don't have to. I'm giving it to you.
No.
Oh, it sounds like a Hallmark movie.
Look, just because I'm wearing flannel and have a beard and live in a small town does not make me Hallmark movie material.
It's just a city boy.
But it doesn't not do that.
That's true.
Yeah, almost by definition, really. Yeah.
There you go. So tomorrow, check out Rygon on Saturday Day Night Live after hours, and check out Jesse on Purple Gang Gang. Rygon, I do want to say last week's episode of Saturday Day Night Live after hours was great. I love the wrestling talk. Did you get a chance to watch the Rumble, and what were your thoughts on it?
I did not. I'm not a big fan of wrestling currently.
Disappoint me, sir. I really liked your show last week. Okay. All right. That's fine. Moving on. Joe Gonzalez is not going to be on Joe Gonzalez Live tomorrow because he is traveling. But will we see you next week, next Saturday on Joe Gonzalez Live?
On Ozotradamus Toys YouTube channel. Not my show, but I will probably be there, not this weekend, but next weekend. Other than that, I just wait around for somebody to invite me on a show. So I kind of just laugh on wherever.
Yep. Next
wherever
week,
somebody will let me in.
Toys YouTube channel. Tune in for Joe Gonzalez Live. We will be promoting it all week. So
maybe not if Curtis keeps saying that. Oz is going to stop having me on.
Yeah.
All right, Alexander, where can people find you? What do you got going on?
On my Instagram, Drunk Gizmo Customs. Got MesquiCon coming up next month. Possibly another show in September. And then obviously Legion's Con.
Are you kind of across from like Four Horsemen and stuff again this year?
Yeah. I believe it's going to be the same like layout. So
okay.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Cool. So if anybody goes to MesquiCon, yeah, I mean the way they had it laid out last year, there was kind of a section towards the back that was kind of a strip of Legions. You know, you had Travis's booth, the My Wife Is Going to Kill Me thing. Then you had Four Horsemen. Then you had Wolf King Customs and Stephen Bisciotti. Then you had Eric Miller, and then across from them was Drunk Gizmo Customs, Alexander Deshaw, and his wares. So yeah, check out that corner. A lot of cool stuff. You got anything else? Any new things that you're going to be showing off?
I'm hoping to.
All right.
I don't know how many, but yeah, I'm hoping to have a bigger horse stall than the one that you got.
Cool.
And a couple new cosmic stuff. So
beautiful.
Yep.
Jesse and I will be there as well. I will have capes from Darla. I'm not bringing any of my stuff because nobody wants my shit. They want Darla stuff. And then Jesse, I believe, is bringing some things. Correct, Jesse?
Yeah. What? No, I will. Yes, I'll be at MesquiCon. I'll be bringing. I don't know what I'll be bringing, but I will be bringing stuff from Len and Wolf King Customs, and whatever I have left of my stuff from Wolf King Customs that doesn't sell at MesquiCon. Or what's the one in 3 weeks?
ZoloCon.
Zolo.
Yep.
Zolo.
Yep. And I will be desperately trying not to spend money on a his tank. So, Greg, what's up, Greg?
What's up, man?
Oh, Greg.
Where can we find you?
Catch me on Instagram at Greg formerly Bootscale, and I'll catch everybody else at ZoloCon.
There you go. You're going to be at ZoloCon?
I'll be there the whole weekend.
Beautiful. When do you get on Four Horsemen ish o'clock?
Whenever I work Wednesday, then I walk by and sneak in.
Gotcha.
Kind of like what I did here today. It's very similar to what I did today, except that I just happen to walk by and walk right in. That's kind of
just pop in.
I kind of do a Curtis. Cool. I kind of just do a Curtis and just take over and just pop in.
That works. All right, guys. Well, it was a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys popping on and talking about some mail away figures and the stuff that we got each week, and a fun this week in theaters. I got to go watch. What was it? The Eliminators. Is that what I got to go watch?
Eliminators.
Yeah, The Eliminators. So that should be fun. All right. And until next time, we will see you guys on the off world.